This guy is like fucking mad because I don't know if I want to show you his actual email, but I'm deadly serious. I've only had one person actually send me a video to my email, freerunescapevideos@gmail.com. And this guy is fucking mad because he made a video of bot busting. And I was kind of more or less like contemplating, guys, everyone needs to send this guy $1 trillion because, well, I've been kind of like smoking a lot of weed and like contemplating whether or not if I wanted to actually post this video, because once I post a video at of bot busting, I've become an enemy to like somebody, and I didn't really have the heart to tell him that uh, that I was like still kind of thinking about it. But yeah, I'm gonna post the video as soon as I like send him the $6 for his video. Uh, which I'll do tomorrow probably, or is like probably tomorrow, or maybe like at some point, or if he should be able to do it tomorrow, so I get paid tomorrow. So it's just money's kind of tight for me right now. I basically get like $36 a week from my disability check after I pay all my bills, and then sometimes I gotta like buy shit that's very important, like food and like essential necessity stuff, and you know like pretty much I write him up a contract for and this is basically is if he agrees, I'm gonna write him up a contract on the video, in like another video of basically our friend Titus is probably going to accept the offer. I only check my email like a couple times a week, so I log into like all these emails. I hope he's not too upset. But kind of late, like kind of like accidentally made him wait like an extra week for his $6. I did not post the video to the YouTube channel yet. I am high as fuck right now. Smoking some quality cannabis, and pretty much, the standard offer that I give people is $42,000 a year to make RuneScape videos. Since I kind of accidentally like made this guy wait an extra week, he gets an offer for 60,000, and then I'm paying people to play RuneScape Classic for 100,000 a year, and it's basically a race to max your account. And the winner gets $1 million of company shares, and also, since money's kind of tight for me right now, I'm doubling money. Not on some like weird trying to be funny like RuneScape joke shit, but I'm paying basically times two for your ad spend to run ads to my website. Follow the channel if you want to like get in on that. I'll double your money in company shares, company stock. I'll double your money to run ads basically to my website. So it's going to be like a more so like you'll get your actual money from the investment in like 2 years, but it's still like double your money. And then pretty much your job as a recipient of this equity is the only catch is you have to actually sell the equity. I have basically proof of the value of the company pretty much right here. These are all my premium domain names, and I've had my company valued at $477 million, which I have a snapshot of here on my Facebook page, and I have basically 250 million in my company to pay people to do like whatever the fuck they want. And I want to pay like as many people as possible to make RuneScape videos. And one day we're going to get the attention of Jagex, and I'm going to buy like a seat in Jagex to make decisions for RuneScape. Okay, what is it? This should be the picture right here. Yeah, this is the picture right here. So it's 477 million. And pretty much, yes, I did say and clarify that whenever you get a business valued, pretty much, you're counting on like a bad case scenario when you launch the IPO. So if the marketplace values your business at like 80 million, that's basically what we're counting on here. But you always like plan for a bad case scenario, but pretty much this business evaluator says that my business is worth 477 million. So I gave away like 100 million worth of my company, and then I keep 250 million in basically reserves, and then pretty much the rule for the company is I always will own like 50% of the company. Keep in mind 250 million basically, if we do some math, 20% of the company is always like kept to the side, and then I keep basically 30% in my I always basically, me being the CEO of the company, I keep 50% of the company at all times. So basically, you can tell me what to do and stuff, but I make the final decision on everything. And pretty much the rule for the business is, I'll never be a puppet for my own company that I started. Like, we learned the lesson from the fucking McDonald's corporation that basically you never give away like more than 50% of your company. And especially the rule basically is, and I don't really, and this is stated in this video in the articles of incorporation for the company, that as the CEO basically has the final say, is like the CEO well, in my corporate structure, as stated in my articles of incorporation, is even if I own 1% of my company, basically people can't really tell me what to do. That's just a general tip of wisdom for anyone that sees my videos that wants to start a company. Is like some pretty like dark and nasty things have happened throughout the history of like people owning businesses. And basically, you know, there's only so much you can do to somebody like physically. It's just everything that I've run from. You can like try to like tie down a CEO and like, kind of like hold them back with the promise of like, but you can't like force someone to work for you. So basically, the rule in my articles of incorporation is that I have the final say on everything. So it's like, basically shares of my company doesn't really necessarily mean like decision making power. It just means that maybe you have an input, you know and and a vote. So basically, when you own shares of my company, you basically have a vote in what we do in the business. Which, if you make like a good decision for the business, you know, basically, I'll give you extra money, like up to like maybe like 10 million bucks, or depending on what it is. I have pretty much the business plan figured out, and truthfully, I think that the raw assets of the company are worth about, a total of like 477 million. But then with the proper business plan and course of action attached to it, is worth probably around more like 2 billion. So yeah, it's like, if you get in on this opportunity early on, you've pretty much struck gold. Our IPO is going to launch at $20 a share. The initial stock price is going to be like $20 a share. To me, that's like, is really like picking up a party hat in RuneScape 2. Maybe not RuneScape Classic, okay? I think like to me, like getting in on like this company as an investor or as an early like helper for the company, someone who invests with either their time or money early on, is kind of like picking up like a big fat like inventory full of party hats on like Christmas Day on RuneScape 2. And it's kind of how I feel when I look at like my life right now. You know, I scoured the fucking earth for 9 years to find something that works, and I got in the business of basically developing websites and mobile applications. So you could do the same fucking thing. I even like invite competition in my business, and I have a new idea. I'm gonna invent a company where I charge people a tax to exist under my corporate umbrella. Like a 1% tax of your business to call yourself a member of my corporation, and is mostly just like a thing for some people to like give back to me. If you could like want to sign like a piece of paper to give me 1% of your profits, that's just me kind of being like, to give you the gift to give me something back. And if you want to give me like, $20,000, that's not what I want. I want a percentage of your company, 1% of your profits. Guys, it took me 27 years to get this fucking smart. And if you want to like give something back to me for the gift of knowledge and inspiration and awareness, you can, always like, I don't want cash. I want a percentage of your company. If you're going to give me anything, if I've really done something for you, I do not want cash. God damn it, I want 1% of your company. Otherwise, like, don't even bother. As I'm looking to create like income streams, and then, basically is like, I don't accept donations for my business. I don't give a shit about that. I want to create something that lasts forever, I want to create many income sources, and like a 1%, like dividend from, like 1% is fair, because the truth is the people that are hearing this stuff for the first time, that just now are starting to believe in themselves, they think that they owe me like the fucking world. Actually, this is just me kind of being a part of the club of giving people the gift of inspiration to like be more than just fucking assholes, I want people to be rich, and like, it's just, I'm so sincere when I say, like, as a business owner, I see my future down the line with thousands and hundreds of people working for my company. And you guys don't know what this means to us as entrepreneurs, as like successful entrepreneurs, as like, fucking like being born fucking God, It was not difficult for me to realize that money is pretty much one of your top like things that you should optimize for in your life. And and it doesn't take an idiot to figure out that you gotta like think outside the box and think entrepreneurship. A lot of people want to get rich through investing. That's not the way. The real way is blood, sweat, and tears, and gears, and years. And we could have never done it without you guys, the people that work jobs. In this video alone, I've probably created, a lot of entrepreneurs, or people who are interested in entrepreneurship. Let's not make a mistake that, life is a lot like, and money is a lot like a bush. You take from the bush, and if you try to basically, if you take all the berries off the bush, and everyone has their own bush, but if you try to take all the berries off the bush like withers away and dies. and then not another bush is born because the seed was lost along the way. You know, business is a lot like taking from the bush, you know. Is like you're not going to be the one to probably be like number one at like fucking anything. You're probably not going to be a billionaire. Expect that over the course of like 25 years, you could make like 100 million bucks. You know, and basically, I have a sad thing to tell you that basically people that try to take too much out of the economy usually are dealt with in like a harmful kind of way, you know. I have been contacted by people saying that if I intrude on their business, that something bad is going to happen to me. So basically, you know, these are like, you know, business is scary, you know, but, you know, is like, you gotta like, to me, you know, let me tell you about the laws of God, okay? What I've noticed is, long as you approach business with a cooperative, collaborative mindset, you know, but coming into business trying to take basically steal other people's money, you know, I've seen people get dealt with in my life, you know. I've seen bad things happen to good people that want to like come in and try to like rob big business of customers and stuff. And me, you know, I'm pretty fucking rich, and I think that, you know, collaboration over competition eventually, if people like you, they'll let you in, you know. And then it's more of like a fraternity than like a competition kind of thing, and that's the cool thing about it. But me, I guess you can call me like the one that fucking made it, because I know things that have happened to people who have done exactly almost the same thing that I've done, but have had the wrong attitude about it. So for me personally, you know, I know what it feels like to feel like discriminated against. And like people are trying to hold you down, but then the more seasoned you get in the sport of business, the more you realize how important it is that certain people don't get ahead. You know, money is power in a big way. It's not like how it used to be. You know, it's not like back when I was growing up. You know, when I was growing up, people were like, you know, getting kidnapped. People that start to get too much ahead and don't comply with rules are dealt with. And that's why it's always about collaboration over competition. But if you just want to play RuneScape and get paid to make videos, you can work for me. I've already done all the work for you. Part about being a fucking gangster is about having more friends than you have enemies, you know. So I know that if something happens to me, you know, that motherfucker's gonna have something happen to them, you know. And you know, yes, I do have a lot of friends because, when I was growing up, a lot of kids don't know nowadays, but I started my first gang when I was like 6 years old. I started my first gang when I was 6 years old. Uh, Pretty much have been in gangs like all my life. And I was always like the number two. I was always like the number two. Uh, the number two man. And I think I always will be, except I found the perfect number one, which is Jesus Christ. Uh, so I found my faith, I found my Christianity, and I've done basically a lot of things in my life that I'm not proud of. And but when it comes to, like, I've never killed anybody, but when it comes to money, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get ahead. And I used to sell dope. I used to steal. I used to rob and do like boosting and fucking selling dope. And like, I beat up a few people over money. And I'm still not past that, except nowadays mostly I have like other ways to deal with situations. Then what I do is I don't have to deal with it, because basically I have nothing but friends. And but this is not a Scarface movie of me doing bad shit. You got to be a good person in life. And that'll make you, basically, if you fuck me over, my friends are gonna fucking kick your ass. And that's what it is to be a gangster at the higher levels. But a good like murder nowadays costs like $50 million. At least that's what I've heard through the grapevine. And ain't nobody got time for that. Just don't like. Yeah, when it comes to business, it's always about collaboration over competition. And if you don't like me as you're watching this video, you could answer to the other 99% of people that fucking appreciate me. And here on this YouTube channel, we all have each other's back. Guys, in life, it's always about collaboration over competition. And I don't know any fucking sane human that can watch this video and take something negative from it. After that comment from that dumbass on the internet the other day, I've been thinking a lot about how, like, I really, like, I maintain that I'm not going to become a bad fucking person just because people are stupid. Like, I'm still going to love people, but I just want to say that anyone who threatens me will be taking affirmative action against. Something is gonna happen to you, man, one way, somehow. And if you fucking hurt me, I'm gonna haunt your fucking nightmares. I will see you in fucking hell. Like, it's just like, yes, okay, I have died before. And I know that life continues on after this worldly existence, and I am psychic, and I have cameras on my house, and like, I'm really not scared of you if you want to hurt me. I'm not scared of anything. But the point is God will not let anything happen to me because I haven't done anything wrong. And that is like, you want to be a fucking businessman, you want to be a fucking celebrity. I'm not like technically a celebrity, I'm more of like a private individual. And I make RuneScape videos, you know. But I'm kind of like starting to go places in my business and stuff. And people are gonna. I'm only 30 years old, by the way, so people are like pretty much destined to know about me one way or the other. You know, so here's the first time. Here could probably be the first time you're hearing about me is pretty much, you know, you want to be in this world and be like a champion. You want to be like rich and famous. Is like you're gonna have to deal with this kind of anxiety. Like I promise you, with 100% of my heart, that I'm not scared, but it just fucking bothers me a little bit, you know? So if you want to start a business, you know, I give you the gift of giving me something back for making these videos. And, you know, email me and give me a percentage of 1% of your company, you know? I mean, I'm trying to help you make your dreams come true, you know? Promise me promise me like a percent of your profits. I don't want the whole revenue, just the profits, you know? And help me create something that lasts forever. And my family will work with your family to help your business dreams come true. But that will really only happen once you honor me giving you this inspiration. If this is your first time being inspired to have your own business, honor me as the one who showed you about it, because there's like a good probably like 50 to 75% chance that you would have never came across this type of inspiration. So my email address is freerunescapevideos@gmail.com. If you want to start your own business, and if you send me a promise of 1% of your profits, we could have a phone call to help me be like a shareholder in your business for like once a week. We could talk on the phone and I'll give you advice of a lifelong of devotion to entrepreneurship. And I've read probably about 1,000 books worth of knowledge on entrepreneurship, and probably, you know, spent a good like 20,000 hours of my 20s like studying and doing business stuff, you know. Guys, do not get this fucking money shit blown out of proportion. Guys, do not get this fucking money shit blown out of proportion. It's probably like super important that you figure out your money situation, but you know, is probably also like the number one most important thing to a man in his 20s and 30s, to take care of your money situation by the time you're like 50. And just, you know, if this is your first time really considering, and if this inspires you to take action to start your own business, you know, I'd appreciate like a little like promise for 1% of your profits. And in exchange for even that, I'm not doing really nothing for you by giving you this inspiration. It's just me like passing the torch to good people. I'm not asking for nothing in return, but I'll teach you something about business that truly is about like giving. Karma is real, and I want to give you the gift of giving. To give me something back is like this video, comment what you learned, comment something cool and positive, and make RuneScape videos for me. I'll give you $42,000 in company stock, paid like every year, paid like monthly. I'll write up and your salary every month until we go live on the stock market, and then you will have priority in selling in quickly try to get you your money out of there if you want to sell fast, or if you want to like hold on to it for like 20 years. Your $42,000 salary will probably be worth more, around like $420,000 in the modern equivalent. I'm just, I don't know what's in this weed that I've been smoking today, but it's really kind of bringing my my like peak of generosity out right now. It's like I don't normally like, I'll give $100,000 to the first person to comment in a comment